You know, you know what? I'll tell you something that's never sat right with me. You know, I'll give you something, okay,
Yep.
from the DJ world. You know, Samantha Ronson has gotten away with, and the two Olsen twins have gotten away with a lot, dude. You know that not only were they with Heath Ledger, but they were both spotted with DJ AM before he overdosed, and no one's ever like. It's like, oh, he's you don't know. I mean, like they go out with you the night before, and you don't know anything, and you're supposed to look out for them. I don't buy it. Yeah, Samantha Ronson's gotten away with a lot, a lot.
Shirley's asking, is Tom Hanks squeaky clean?
As far as I know, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, Nicole
They've not
Richie.
asked,
Yeah,
Oprah's very powerful, isn't she?
I mean, back to the whole Queen Latifah thing, man. You know, I mean, if she's with Gail, who cares? But I mean, I guess at that level, you can't. You know,
So
whatever.
Robert's wondering whether any of the free letter agencies back some of these clubs to attract people they think will be useful.
Well, one of the biggest robberies that ever happened, and I will tell you, it's like one of those things where you don't even. It's not like they're going to hire me at any time, but look, the pandemic caused a lot of people to go bankrupt, and Live Nation bought all of these clubs for pennies on the dollar. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
And if you want to look into uh, artist management, Live Nation, huge, huge.
Okay, let me go to the next one. We've got do you know anything about the Self-Actualization Fellowship? Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I do. I go there.
You
Um,
go there.
yeah, I do. I go there.
What is it? What is it?
That's wild that someone asked me about that. Again, it's such a great place. You go meditate, and I'd like to know. I mean, I hope it doesn't turn out like these other Kundalini yoga places. It would be tragic to me, but I'm sure there is. What are they?
Who's
I
behind it?
It's a lot of people. I mean, there's one in Malibu. There's one here in Phoenix. They're all over the place. The self
So you
out
think
he's a liar. Yeah, I mean, I could be.
you're getting asked about Jennifer Aniston?
I mean, she used to be at the Viper Room too. I mean, everyone's, that's cool.
Anna Anna Nicole Smith?
Oh, what a tragedy! What a tragedy. She was super. I mean, she was just. They just used her up, man. So sad. And she was surrounded. You know what? And that's the thing about this. You gotta look at the people that you surround yourself with are what cause your downfall. I mean, you got to surround yourself with people like, I love having my family around. They'll tell me like you're out of your mind, or this is not good for you. It's not a good look for you. You know what I mean? You got to have people that are willing to step up to you and say, listen, this is not good, and be able to say like some things are morally wrong, man.
You're getting asked if you ever played at a gig that you had to sign an NDA for.
Plenty, plenty.
So
Not
does
the
that mean you
not
would
not
never?
the got to tell you, not the actual gig, but usually the after party, 100%.
So does that mean legally you would never be able to talk about those parties?
No, not until it comes out. No,
Not until something came out.
it will. It will. I mean, it will. I mean, it's just a matter of like, um. But again, people should be able to do and sleep with whoever they want to. That's not the problem. Do you know what I mean? That clearly people can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know, they want to have threesomes, they want to swing. It doesn't. That's not the problem. It's when you're abusing your power and your money to obtain these kinds of things. You know.
Yeah, or if they're doing stuff to kids. All right, so Montana 9, have you done any collabs? If so, which artist or DJ was your favorite?
Oof. Obviously, Z Trip. I mean, we did this thing called Bomb Shelter, which would not have even have gotten off the ground if it wasn't for your lovely financing. You know, you know.
Yeah, tell them about the bomb shelter, what that was.
Um, it was great. It was great. It was me, Z Trip, and Radar, and it came up with a concept of when I was in Beirut, and I figured out as a young child that people got along in the bomb shelter. Jews, Arabs, Muslims, everybody got along in the bomb shelter. So when I created a DJ crew, I wanted to create an environment where everybody could get along. It didn't matter if you were gay, straight, black, Hispanic. It doesn't matter what you were. That we would all get along in the bomb shelter, and that's where we started the bomb shelter DJs. And it's still one of the best things I've ever done. I collaborated with Radar. Um, Recently played with Maceo Plex. That guy's great. There's been so many collabs of people. It's been amazing. I also I started teaching at the university and teaching DJ classes and Ableton, which has been fantastic.
How's D-Trip and Radar doing these days?
Radar is doing well. He's around, and Z Trip's on tour with LL Cool J.
Wow, good to hear it, man.
Oh, thoughts on Chester Bennington? Yes. What do you want to know? I can tell you a story.
Go for it.
So when I was a senior in high school, maybe my first year of college, and we're Middle Eastern Arab family, and all of a sudden we hear this guy with a guitar, like, and I said I love you, and strumming his guitar at like 2 a.m. And we're like, what are you doing, dude? And we open the window, and it's this guy, and he's like, oh, I'm here to see your sister. I'm like, my sister's like 12. What are you talking about? And my brother and I were gonna beat him senseless. And and then he goes, I'm here to talk to your sister. And I'm like, and then my cousin Naveen comes out, which is basically my sister. And she's like, Chester. And it was Chester Bennington. And he was in love with my cousin Naveen for a long time. He was always kind of a weird, he was kind of like a, kind of a reclusive dude, like he was just kind of himself, always kind of in his head a little bit. And then Z Trip did a collab with him. He's an Arizona guy, man. He's a good guy.
Did you ever play with Sasha back in the day? That's from Rosie. Sasha and Digweed did come to
I
Arizona. Do
saw
you
them in
remember?
San Francisco. I mean, you don't understand what a big deal Sasha and Digweed were back in the day. But
Woo! Renaissance.
In San Francisco, they would close off the street for Sasha. I mean, he was amazing. Do you know our friend Gigi Aaron had passed too?
No. What are your thoughts on Usha and Pink wiping their Instagrams when Diddy got locked up?
I think, like I said, I think this is all compromise, man. I think that he recorded a lot of stuff that went on, and people were on and doing things, and especially at the white parties. The white parties with Hamptons were, you know. But I
So
guess that's what. God,
going back to Corey, Benny wants to know your thoughts on Joel Schumacher.
what's up with Joel Schumacher?
Yeah, if he's might create some problems, that one actually. Perhaps we should.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have a look. Any information about Lady Gaga's physical victimization by a producer?
Oh, I believe that. I believe that. She used to be. I first heard of her when she was actually working at a strip club called um uh what's it called, Scores, in New York. And she would hang out with a bunch of drag queens, and that's how she got her look. And she actually modeled the Missing Persons, um Dale Bozio. She got a lot of her stuff from that.
So Honeybird's asking about Isaac Cappy, which is another Arizona story that I've covered
Who?
years ago. Isaac Cappy. So he was a guy, he did some acting, and then he started speaking out about the club, and then he got unalived in Arizona off a bridge. So there's a lot of theories about what happened to him.
Was I was
Um,
I was I DJing at the Crowbar when they were gonna kidnap you?
um, that was around that time. And
Yeah,
what Emile is referring to is if you've watched my documentary on Max, it's actually number 3 today on Max.
that's amazing.
On number 2, Sammy the Bull's son, Gerard, talks about the night he was going to kidnap me from a gay bar called the Crowbar, where I
Yeah,
was at with Wildman and my friends. And we left, and they just arrived after we left. But you were a regular there too, weren't you?
me and RC Lair. I actually have a recording from that night. It was actually a really good set. Um,
Yeah, Sunday nights, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
Good
mean,
con.
like I said, I just, you know, I want to like, if I, before we end it, I really want to like go back to like what I said originally and what you were saying. Like, there are so many positives in the scene, and we just got to weed out all the negative stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because the I mean, do you ever think about that? Like, if we just manage to get people, um, that's one thing that drives me absolutely nuts about radio. It makes absolutely no sense. Do you know what I mean? Arizona has the Walter Cronkite, Edward R. Murrow School of Broadcast Journalism, but they have an AM station. Okay, and you're playing like a Fleetwood Mac and I don't know, Journey 24/7, and you got billions of people listening to electronic dance music, and you got some guy named Mikey Louise at 5 o'clock. Why is this dude on? Why are you? And they're like, it's about money. It's not about money, because if it was about money, you'd be playing what the people are going to festivals, paying $1,500 a ticket to going to Coachella every week, and going to these festivals paying hundreds of dollars when you could be playing this music on the radio. I mean, you want to talk about a conspiracy? Talk about radio, and why they won't play electronic dance music on the radio when they're literally bankrupted themselves to a point where they're like, oh, their format doesn't work, hasn't worked, right? But they still refuse to put anybody on the radio. Never even got a clue. Like, it's like with Howard Stern, okay, or Joe Rogan. Either talk a lot, right, or shut up and play music. You know, it makes no sense why radio's like like every community college has an FM transmitter. You could start a college radio network world like across this nation, where kids could be like, I do production classes. They should be able to produce music and play it on an FM transmitter, hear their music over the transmitter, which, by the way, every car has a radio. Radio is available to everybody. It's a public service. That radio stations were built so that the public could use it. I've asked them to use it from 1 o'clock at 6 in the morning. Their throwaway time, they refuse to let me on the radio. I am begging them to give me an hour to talk and play music. They've never, and by the way, not just me, not Z Trip, not not Radar, not Eddie Amador, not Pete Salas, not a single DJ is qualified to be on the radio here. Explain
It's
that to me.
pathetic. It's pathetic. But it's interesting that you just touched on Fleetwood Mac because we used to supply Stevie Nick.
Oh, for sure. I seen her wearing her. Well, yeah, she was in the Slope.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember. I've been to her house at the Slope. Yeah.
Dalt wants to know: is there still a market for club DJs these days?
I'm. Yeah. I mean, 30-second clip DJs are actual DJs. You know, when I play vinyl, DJs are literally these young kids will look at me like I'm performing sorcery, right? And yeah, they're just like, "How are you doing that?" It's like, you know, again, I'm not here to tell people what's right or wrong. You can do whatever. It's just like when you go to a restaurant, whether they steam the vegetables or grill them, as long as they taste good. I don't care what you do. But the point being is, like, this movement, these festivals and everything that we're doing should be used as a political movement, as a way to move society forward. Can you imagine if you had a person like running for office? Like, you should be going to these events like Coachella and being able to register people to vote and getting people involved in politics, not just partying and just being there. Like, you would have. I mean, can you imagine? There's like 100,000 people at Coachella. I mean, either Kamala or Trump went to one of these, but they should do. They should be the. By the way, that's the core of this country. Like, if you go to a festival, you will see the reality of this country. It's not like right. It's people. There for something. That don't care about your politics, or whatever. They're into the music, and that movement of people has never been actualized into civics or being involved in their own policies and government. It's wild to me. Do you know what I mean?
Thoughts on Avicii?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm going to tell you this.
I'm about to watch his show on Netflix. There's some kind of documentary about him.
I'm about to tell you this. There's a reason he went to Oman. Okay. Um, there's been, listen, I've been sober probably a couple of years now, right? And there has been obviously, and I've lost a lot of friends due to the fact that the snow now has been tainted with other substances, right? And I think it's the fact that the fentanyl has gotten into this supply has
Let's just
caused
call it. Let's just call it F.
okay,
Yeah.
has gotten into the supply, has caused a lot of death, and it's not. Look, it's not safe anymore at all. And I actually do a stand-up bit about this, where I was going through my old record bag and I found a little bit of something. 10 years ago, that would have been like, woo, right? Now that's a packet of death. So it's like you can't. It's completely changed. I mean, you see it on the streets, and um
Kaz is wondering if you know things that could get you unalived.
um not yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
took just took, just took a bit of
I'm not gonna, yeah, yeah.
took a bit
I
of
mean,
time to come out.
yeah. I mean, but whatever.
Emile, we've been on for almost 2 hours, my friend. Is there anything you'd
Wow,
like?
that flew by.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers in conclusion? Thank you for answering all these questions.
I mean, I just want to say this about you, Sean. I am so proud of you. And you're writing all these books. I would love to collab with you someday. And you know, your original reason for getting into the scene, because you love the music, that you should always remind people of that. It's like it should always be about the music, right? And and never, like you said, you still love going out to shows. You know, that's one of the greatest things, that contributions that you ever made, is that you were a believer and you believed in the scene and believed us as DJs. And I want to thank you for all your contributions. Thank you so much, man. I really.
Oh, look, thank you for being my friend and all the wild and exciting times you had with Wild Man. Here's a final question. Is there anywhere we can listen to some of your old music?
Absolutely. At SoundCloud, Emile I Am, and at Mixcloud, Bomb Shelter DJ Emile.
All right, we'll get those links off you and we'll get them into the description box. Story about a DJ who's offered a record deal by a group of officers Jewish men at a house party. He turned it down, now denies it. Haven't known witnesses' thoughts about why he denies. Do you know anything about that?
What is it?
Story about a DJ who was offered a record deal by a group of Orthodox Jewish men at a house party. He turned it down and now denies it ever happened, but there are witnesses. Thoughts about why he denied? That's too cryptic. Thanks for the super chat. It's too cryptic. That's too cryptic.
Okay, right. This is great, man. I could do this for forever.
Right. Emile's links are in the description box. Please support his work. We will be back tomorrow with more content.
I will give you that girl's information later this week. I'll talk to her.
That would be amazing if we get the Masterson Survivor on. So wherever you are in the world watching this, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your questions and comments. Much love and respect, and have a great night. And cheers.